Hi, kindergarten. It's Mrs. Huaco, and today is Fun Friday. So today we are going to make berry smash muffins. So it's a baking day. So that means you need to wash your hands first thing. So we're working with food, okay? And I'm going to post up here the list of all the ingredients we need. We also need to turn the oven on and get it hot. So pause the video, go turn your oven on, have an adult do this for you, and we want to make sure that the oven racks inside. Okay, we're going to be doing muffins, so in the middle we should have enough room to make your muffin pan fit in there and your muffins. So why don't you pause the video and go to the oven with your adult. Turn the oven to 425, okay? Check to make sure the rack is okay. All right, go ahead and do that. Ready. So the oven is getting warm. You've washed your hands. You have a muffin pan, muffin liners. We need 12. This is the list of all the items that we need, the ingredients. I'm going to hold it up here for you. Okay, you see that? So we need fresh strawberries, a little under 2 cups, 1 2/3 cups, 2/3 cup sugar, some vegetable oil, 2 eggs, flour, all-purpose flour, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, and 12 muffin liners. Okay, so if you want to pause this and write all those items down or go around the kitchen and get all those items, that'd be great. The other thing you need is a bowl. Okay, so get your bowl, medium-sized bowl. Let's see what else. A spoon, because we're going to stir up all of our ingredients in the bowl. And we're going to, the first thing we're going to do is mash berries, and we need something to mash the berries. You can use a fork to mash your berries, or a potato masher if you have one of those. We're just going to mash the berries in there, okay? We can also do it with a fork. Don't forget, you need to get measuring spoons, measuring cups, and because we're measuring liquid, one of these is really handy to use. Okay, you don't have to use one of these measuring cups, but I like to use it because there's a little pour spout right here. Okay, so I don't make dribbles everywhere. And the other thing that we need is your strawberries have little green tops on them, the leaves, and we don't want the leaves in our muffins. So with an adult, you're going to need to get a cutting board, okay? And you're going to either need a knife. You don't need a super sharp knife. See my knife? My knife isn't that sharp, okay? This was actually one of my kids' knives when they were about your age, okay? Maybe even a little bit younger. Or you can also use this. This is called a, it's a little berry, I don't know what you call it. It yanks the little stem out of the berry. So a stem puller outer. Let me get a berry and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, hold on one second. Sorry about that. Should have had a berry right here for you. Oh, my hair is a mess. Okay, so here's your strawberry. Here's like one of these little pullers, and you squish it underneath the little leaves and you yank it out. Okay. You don't have to do it that way. If you don't have one of these gizmos, what you can use is just a knife. And let me show you how we would do this, because this is one of the first things you're going to have to do. So here's my cutting board and my knife that's not all that sharp. Here's my strawberry. See how the little, this here? We want to get rid of that. We don't want that in our muffin. So, see, lean that down a little bit more. And I'm just going to saw that off and put that in the compost, okay? And if your strawberry is really big, it would probably help just to cut it in half. What I did is I just took the flat end, I flipped it over on my cutting board, and then I took my knife and I just pushed down. Okay? All right. So, what I want you to do is go get your strawberries, clean them if they need to be cleaned, rinse them off, and with an adult, get your cutting board, a knife, not a super sharp knife, just a table knife, okay? And if the berries are really big, like that's a big berry as opposed to a little one, okay? Then you're going to want to probably cut them in half, okay? Just like I did. So, pause the video, go get your strawberries, and get them prepped. And you want 1 2/3 cup of strawberries. Okay, is everyone back? Everyone's got their strawberries ready to go? So, 1 cup. Here are my strawberries. I'm going to put 1 cup. Let's see. Woo. 1 cup into my bowl. And then 2/3. I have a 1/3 cup measure. I don't know if you can see it. It says a 1/3. Okay. It's 1/3. We need 2/3, so we need another one. And it's okay if a little bit is over the edge, okay? It's because there's always holes in there. So it's about 1 2/3. So put that in my bowl. Get rid of my berry stuff. All right. Now we're going to mash. All right. I'm going to use my potato masher. This might take a while, so you can pause the video while you mash your berries. All right. I'll show you how I'm going to do it. My berries are in here. Oh my goodness. This is a lot of work. Now, it doesn't have to be a puree, which means liquid. We're just kind of mashing them down into smaller pieces, okay, and let their juices come out too, so that our berries are kind of juicy, okay? So, here I go. Mash, mash, mash. I've never made these berries before, so this is kind of an adventure for me too. I'm not really sure how they're going to come out, but I thought the recipe sounded good. And I thought you guys might have fun mashing and smashing your berries. I'm getting a workout, I'll tell you that. So I hope you're not wearing anything delicate or white that could get berry juice on it, because berry juice kind of stains. So it's always good to wear an apron. Now, I know I don't have an apron on. I guess I'm kind of lazy that way. I always forget. Okay, so I think my berries are pretty mashed and smashed. Here, I'll show you what they look like. They're still big chunks, and I think that if the chunks are too big, I can take my fork and just make them a little bit smaller. Okay, let's see, how's that going? Sorry for the clanking, but my bowl is made out of pottery. Kind of china. Okay, let's see. I think that's pretty good. Can you see this? Ooh, I almost lost them there. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do with our berries in this bowl, on the list I made, do you see how I clumped things together? So this one here, the dot, that was the first thing we did. Okay, we got 1 2/3 cup of strawberries, and we mashed them. Now, to this bowl, we're going to add the sugar, the vegetable oil, and the eggs. Okay? So, let's get our sugar. It says 2/3 cup of sugar. Okay. And let's see. Here's my 1/3 cup. And My little knife I was using is wet. I'm going to dry it off because I want to be able to have something to flatten my flour. Remember last time I told you how when we measure flour or sugar, we want to skim off the top so we get an accurate measurement. So for our sugar, we need 2/3 cup of sugar. All right, so I've got 1/3 here. You see how it's over the top? So I'm taking my straight edge over my sugar container and I'm flattening it off. Okay, that's 1/3. That goes in my bowl with the sugar, with the with the strawberries. Okay, that's 1/3. Now we need 2/3. So another one. There we go. That's in there. Skim off my top. All right. 2/3 cup of sugar. Then we need 1/3 cup. That same, you can use the same measuring cup, or you can use the liquid one. And like I told you, I like the liquid one because I like the little spout. So I'm going to find my 1/3 measurement on there and pour my canola oil. I've been using canola oil. It can be any kind of vegetable oil. Let's see if I can find my 1/3. Whoop, there it is. My glass is kind of faded. It's pretty old. There we go, 1/3. Okay. And I'm going to pour that in. All right. Ooh, now here comes the fun part. We get to crack eggs. So, again, you might have an adult help you with this because cracking eggs can be kind of tricky. So, like I told you last time, you can crack them on the side of a glass. And I'm going to use this measuring cup. And I like to, when I crack my eggs, sometimes I make a mistake and sometimes shell gets in there. So I like to crack my eggs into something different than what I'm baking in case a shell gets into it, and I can then pick out the shell and then put my egg into the bowl. Okay, so let's see. Let's try, a lot of times I like to crack it on the table, but this time I'll try it on the glass on the corner right here. Okay, all right, wish me luck. Ooh, I don't think I cracked it. Woo! Did you hear it smash? All right, no eggshells. Phew! But look, I didn't do a very neat job there. I'm going to put that to the side. Okay, so that's one egg. That goes in the bowl. All right, now I'm going to get my second egg. We'll do this on the glass again. Woo! That one I did it really hard. Okay, there was the egg. Okay, that was actually a better crack though. Okay, and now I'm going to pour my second egg in here. All right, put that away. Oh, it's always good to have some napkins or towels around when you're baking because your hands get kind of gooey sometimes. At least mine do. Okay, so now that we have all of this in our bowl, we're going to take our spoon and we're going to stir this up, okay, until it's nice and mixed. Sometimes you have to mash the eggs a little bit, and then we're just going to stir it around, okay? All right, so you can pause the video. I'm actually going to do this until you can pause it and come back. Okay, so does everyone have their bowl looking like, let's see if I can see it. There we go. All right, all stirred around. Okay. Now we're going to add the last chunk of ingredients, okay? So, we're just going to put all of those ingredients right in here. So we need, let's see, I'm looking at my recipe, 1.5 cups of flour. Get my flour. and my 1 cup measurer. Okay. Oh, I wanted to show you this. No, there we go. How's that? And I'm going to take my straight edge, my knife, smooth that off. Okay. And I'm going to put that into my bowl. All right. That was the 1 cup. Now I need another. This is the 1/2 cup. Okay. Smaller than the 1 cup. So 2 of these would make 1 of these. But we just want 1. So I'm going to fill it up with my flour. Okay. Now again, see how it's way over the top? I'm going to smooth it off. It's nice and level. Okay, so I get an accurate measurement, and I put that in my bowl. And it's really important when we bake that we use exactly the right amount of ingredients that the recipe tells us. Okay, it makes all the difference in whether something is going to bake properly or not, and taste good. The next thing we need is 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. It's the baking soda. 1/2 teaspoon. And got my 1/2 teaspoon. And what I like about this box is I can scrape it off. There's like a little scraper right in there. But if not, you can take it out and use your little knife again. Okay. Ooh. 1/2 teaspoon of that. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay. Now, I don't want to pour my salt. When I'm measuring it, I don't want to pour it over here, because if too much salt goes in there, it tastes awful. Okay, so we're going to do this over another bowl. I'm going to use one of these measuring cups, just in case I pour too much, because the salt is a pretty big container, and it could, fly out fast. And I'll show you. Let's see if I have any mishaps. Hopefully not. Okay. And even that, see, it's a little bit too much, so I'm going to scrape that off. There. That goes in my bowl. Okay. And let's see, any more ingredients? Oh, cinnamon, my favorite. So, same thing with cinnamon, although I don't mind if I get too much cinnamon in my stuff. Okay, so here's my cinnamon. Oops. Okay. And I think my little spoon will fit in here. I hope so. Yep, look at that, it does. But I'm going to do it over another bowl, so I don't make a mess. I don't get too much cinnamon in my strawberries. Okay. Right, and 1/2 teaspoon of that. Oh, I'm going to close up my cinnamon. Okay. See, probably I had a lot of extra stuff in there, so I'm going to put that away. Okay, so we have all of our ingredients now in here. We're not going to over mix it. We just mix it all up until all the ingredients are moist. So slowly stir that around. Okay. Yeah, flip it around. Okay, so it's all nice and moist. Oh, you keep stirring. I'm going to stop this and stir mine. Okay, so did everyone get their batter all mixed up? Okay, so it's nice and moist. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this batter and we're going to put it in our muffin tray. Now, I like to line my muffin pan. This is my muffin pan. Okay, I like to line it with little muffin or cupcake liners. That way, I don't have such a big mess to clean up later. I'm kind of lazy that way. I don't want to have to be scrubbing my muffin pan so much. So, but if you don't have these, you can put some butter or some spray, oil spray, Pam spray, in each one of these little metal wells so that your muffins will pop out easily. Okay, so I hope you have these, but if not, then you can put some grease in here. So I want you to go get your muffin pan and your liners or grease it. You might need to ask an adult for some help if you're going to grease your muffin pan. Okay, just like this. Okay, and it doesn't matter what color they are. I just had some white ones and I had some purple ones. So that's what I'm using. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to spoon our batter into each one of these muffin wells. Okay. We're not going to fill them all the way up to the top. Fill them about halfway up. And what I like to do, because my wooden spoon isn't very good at a very good way to pour it into the muffin tins, I like to use either like a measuring cup or a metal spoon that I can kind of flip it in. Okay, so here goes nothing. All right. It always kind of gets a little messy, so you should have a napkin. All right, I'm going to angle this down. Hopefully we can do this. All right, hopefully you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to fill up my, not a whole lot, you see? I'm going to plop it in here. Okay, there. And a little bit more on this one. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this, and you can fill up yours. Hey, kindergarten, did you get them all in your muffin liners, in the muffin pan? There's mine. It was kind of tricky. Yeah, I had to use like another spoon to kind of scrape it out of some of the, out of my little like quarter cup measuring thing. But I got them in there, more or less. So now what we're going to do, hopefully by now your oven should be hot enough. Okay, so you'd like to have your parents or an adult check to make sure the oven is about 425 degrees. Okay, and you need to get some pot holders. Okay, and put these babies into the oven. And you need an adult's help with this because the oven is really hot. And then after we put them in the oven, we're going to use a timer. Okay, we're going to set the timer for somewhere between, let's see, what does it say? 15 to 18 minutes. So what I like to do is set the timer for the lower number. Okay, everybody's ovens are a little bit different, and sometimes things cook faster than other ovens. And my oven is kind of weird that way too. So I'm actually going to set my timer for 14 minutes because I don't trust my oven. Okay, so let's see if you can see. I'm going to put this in the oven. Okay. There we go. I'm going to turn on my timer for 14 minutes. Okay, and I'll see you back when the bell goes off. All right. Hi, kindergarten. I'm back. Has your buzzer gone off yet? I think mine is just about to go off. And I'm going to take a peek at my muffins to see if they're done. Okay. The buzzer. Okay, all right. Fingers crossed that they look pretty good. I have my pot holders. Hot oven, if you can see. There they are. Let's see what they look like. Oh, they look pretty good. One way to sort of test them sometimes is to kind of put your finger on the top and see if it bounces back, or use a toothpick to see if the toothpick, you put it into the muffin, if it comes out clean, then you know that the muffin is done. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to test it. You see me do it? What do we think? Looks pretty clean to me. Okay, I think we've got muffins that are ready. Okay, and I have a little cooling rack over here by my oven. I'm going to put them on. There we go. Close this oven. It's pretty hot. I'm going to turn off my oven. Don't forget. Okay, so here are my muffins. They smell pretty good. I can't wait for them to cool off so I can try one. They say, the recipe, the cookbook says, to let them cool for about 10 or 15 minutes. They're pretty hot. You don't want to burn yourself. And then you can take them out of the muffin tin and devour them. Okay, so I want you to take a picture of your creation and post it so that I can see it. I wish I could taste them. Alrighty? Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed making the berry smash muffins. And I'd love to hear from you. Okay? See you later. Bye.